In this video we are going to build a Laravel package from scratch. And this video will probably be a little bit different than the other videos in this series. It will be a little bit more rough because I'm going to live code a lot. I haven't prepared anything and I'm going to not edit anything out. I'm going to leave everything as it is so you can see me mistake, so you can see me think, and I'll try to talk as much as possible over this so you understand what I'm doing and what I'm thinking. I've never done this before, so I'm slightly nervous about this, but let's go. So the package that I want to build is a package called Disk Monitor, and it will record several things about the disks, so about the file systems inside Laravel. So we could, for instance, record daily or hourly that that a disk contains that many files. So we can record file count or something, and later on we could maybe expand on that and add like disk size in it, like how much storage is used by this disk and so on. We could add like graphs or maybe tables to start with that show like how many that show like the statistics of a disk each day or each hour or whatever. Yeah, and that's like a nice, I think, use case to use a config file in a package, to use a command to show some tests to see controller. So yeah, I think it'll be a good example. So let's start building this. So in the video course, I've shown you that you can use the template repo, or better said, use our skeleton repo, which is marked as a template repo. So you can use that little button to create a repository of your own with this. But usually I use the terminal like this for that. So I'm going to call this Disk Monitor. It's Laravel Disk Monitor. That's the name of the package. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to clone a repo, namely our skeleton repo, and I'm going to put it in this directory. So we're going to clone it, and let's go to that directory. Disk Monitor, and you can see here that we have our skeleton. Now this repo is actually tied to the skeleton repo, and to remove that tie I just remove the git directory, or did I do it wrong? It's like this. So we don't have a git directory anymore. I do a git init. So we have a new repository with these files in. So here are all the files. I'm going to commit it, and on GitHub I'm going to create a new repository. I'm going to call it Laravel Disk Monitor. Monitor. How do you call that in English? Monitor metrics of Laravel disks, something like that. I'm going to keep it private for now. Let's create a repository like that. So this is how we add an origin to it. So I'm going to add the origin to the repo. I'm going to push it to master. And if everything went well, we have all those files here and we are ready to go. So let me open this up in PHP Storm and drag it from the other monitor to this one. And let's take a look. The first thing that we need to do is to configure the skeleton so we can fill in all these placeholders. So let's do that. Configure skeleton. The author name is Freek van der Herten. That's my email. My username is Freek Murze. That's the package name. monitor metrics of Laravel disks, something like that. That's good. Now that file has gone away. All the things have been replaced. And I think that's also a good place to commit and to push to master. Doesn't appear to be a Git repository. I'm not sure what happened here. Made sure that it exists. We could push everything. Can we pull? Let's revisit this again. That's not a very good start. Let's go to maybe my history and see what happened. So yeah, this is added. I'm going to copy this. I don't know why it forgot that, but now we can push again. Maybe let's try editing. Try to do that again. Now it worked. Yeah, I'm not sure why it didn't work. Here it is Laravel file count monitor. I'm pushing to the wrong repo. I've copied like a wrong thing here. Wait. Git remote remove origin like that. And this, do I have it in my clipboard? That's the wrong one. You see, I do messy stuff as well. Let's just adapt this one. Come on. Like this. I might have to edit this all out because this is just too embarrassing, really. Laravel disk monitor. Yeah, like that. Yeah, you know what? Let's just force push it. Just be done with it for now. Usually I don't have to do that. Let's test that it's now actually working. But just master. And then I should have an updated readme now. Yeah, so now this boring part has been done. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is replace the namespace everywhere and get rid of those skeleton names. First, maybe I'm going to install the dependencies so that I can run the tests. Then my plan is to change the namespace and all those files. And next, we can run the tests again so we know that we replace the name everything right. Okay. So this is the test, that is good. And now we can replace the namespace, I guess. So Laravel disk monitor, usually I leave off Laravel and this is then my my namespace. So I'm going to do that here as well. So this is disk monitor as well. And then I'm not going to have facade here, I guess. So I'm going to remove that. Disk monitor like that. Is there anything else here that I should change name of? I don't think so. So here we are going to maybe find sparsy skeleton and replace that by sparsy disk monitor. And I don't know if you hear it, but the fans of my MacBook are spinning up. I hope they will spin down soon. I guess it's maybe because PHP Storm did some indexing. I'm pretty sure you all know that feeling. So now we should replace the file names here. So this is disk monitor. This should also be disk monitor. Views, yeah, we're gonna have views, I guess. So this is also disk monitor. We'll have tables. We'll have tables, yeah. So maybe I should just replace that everywhere. Skeleton tables. Those are disk monitor tables. Boom, like that. The skeleton command. Record disk metrics. I'm going to give it already a good name because I know that I need an artisan command that I can schedule so I can actually record some stuff. This is also disk monitor. And these two as well, disk monitor. Lots of disk monitors. I don't need a facade. I don't think I need this loose class. Let's go to here. So this is, I guess, disk monitor. And probably in a later version of the package we could monitor several disks, but I'm going to start with one. So disk name, I guess we have a local disk. And I'm going to add a comment here. The name of the disk you want to monitor. Like that. Database, migrations, create skeleton tables. No, that is create disk monitor tables. I'm going to call the table itself. Maybe disk monitor entries or something, so that our model can be entry. Is that a good name? Yeah, possibly. Maybe I'll revisit it later. What are we going to record? Maybe I can just hold the disk name here already. Yeah. And then the metrics, I guess. So integer, and maybe let's start with file count, because that will be the easiest one to complete in this video. I could do a lot, I could record a lot of different things, but I also don't want to create like a video of 3 hours, so let's keep it simple. And then timestamp, so that's also good. This can be create disk monitor tables. And I don't know if you hear it, but the fans of my MacBook, they stopped spinning, so that's good. So I hope audio quality is better. Views, we'll think about that later. Commands, record disk metrics, that's good. Let's see in the test here. Model factory, maybe I'll come to that later. Test case. Oh, here's one I should replace with disk monitor service provider. Testing with SQL is fine. I think now I should uncomment this because I'm going to use the migration. That is the migration name. Should put a slash before that. I actually should fix that in the base skeleton, so I don't need to fix this everywhere again. I don't need this line. I think, yeah, that is maybe everything. So this should pass too. No, so we have a learning opportunity here. Class pass, disk monitor test case not found. Maybe it's just composer. Let's try. Yeah, and that was it. So we have our names and everything works correctly. So I'm going to commit this again. Yeah, I'm at this phase. I don't use any commit messages at all. I could do that, but I rarely look into the history of the package this early. So history isn't of value to me. So I don't really take care of it. So I just use whip everywhere. I got this alias setup commit that just uses whip whenever I don't give a commit message. So I think that's fine, but make up your own mind if you think that's fine. Okay, and then we can start doing stuff, I guess. So how are we going to call this command? So I like to have the package name here, disk monitor, maybe just record metrics, something like that. Record the metrics of a disk, like that. All done. I like to have all done at the end of a command so I know that it reached the end. And maybe in the beginning we can have a comment like recording metrics. And I like to use ... so people know this is like an ongoing process. And I use exclamation mark or a regular point like this is now done. So that's a little hint like thing. What are we going to do here? How can we actually record the file count? I should have a model, I guess, if I want to record something. So I need to have a models directory. How did I call the table again? Disk monitor entries. Okay, disk monitor entry. Yeah, PHP class, that seems fine to me. I'm going to extend model. I don't believe in mass assignment protection, so I'm going to do that away. And I don't think I need anything on the model. Well, let's see. Let's first record something. So, disk monitor entry create. And then, of course, I should have the disk name, right? So the disk name that is now config disk monitor. What was it called? Yeah, just disk name, of course. Disk name, like that. This is also disk name, right? Disk name. So you see that I don't begin with tests because I'm just scaffolding things out. If I think knew beforehand, like this is what I'm going to code, maybe I would have started with tests, but I like to have a little bit of freedom now. It's just doing everything I want without having tests. In the end, this will all be tested, of course. So disk name, we had, I think, file count here. And actually, this is stupid or silly of me to have this here because I need the disk's name for other things as well. So I'm going to keep it here. Disk name. And then I guess storage disk name. Yeah, in case you don't know, this allows me to get a configured disks from filesystem.php. If you're not familiar with storage disk, maybe you should go to the Laravel documentation on file systems first. It's clearly explained there. And then maybe here all files. And I actually don't know what that returns. I guess just a number. Maybe just look. Oh no, yeah, of course it returns all the files. So it's an array. So it isn't a collection or something. So I guess I can just count it. Count. Maybe there are more optimal ways for this. Maybe I should see. Can I do count? No, there's no count or number of files. No. Let's just do it very simple. File count. And then here we are going to do file count as well. Like that. And I think this might be like a good thing to already test. Okay. I don't need the example test here. Let's add feature, I guess. Yeah, in other packages I have like distinction between feature and unit. But for simple stuff, I don't make the distinction anymore. Feature is maybe also a bit of a lie to put it in. Yeah, but I'm going to keep this this for now. Feature commands. And here then, oh, I saw something wrong here. I have a habit of suffixing things, also command, so I know that it's a command and not something else. And I'm going to create a test called record disk metrics command test. And it extends the test case, of course, like that. And I'm thinking that for all the tests that I will write here, I will probably use a fake local disk. So Laravel makes this super easy. I'm going to fake the local disk. And a fake, I think it also takes care of, yeah, when it runs again, it will clear like the directory where, yeah, that is used as a base for this fake, which is nice. I don't have to manage any directory of files myself. I can just put stuff in and make assertions on it. I think the storage fake is really, really nice. So let's try it. Let's do the simplest test maybe first. Public function, it will record 0 files for empty disks, something like that. I'm going to mark this as a test and maybe, let's see what we are going to do. Storage disk local, and then I can put something on it, right? I think I will get tired of that storage disk call. Should I already put it in an instance variable? No, I'll do that later. So the path, I guess that's just some file name with the contents test, something like that. What am I going to do next? Yeah, I'm going to call that command, right? This call, and you can put in the class name here, record disk metrics command class. We're going to assert return code or return code. Oh, I have this call here. It should be this artisan, of course. And then here it's something like assert exit code. That's it. Like that. Usually when lines get long, I do something like this. For me, reading it this way takes less effort than reading things horizontally, because I can easier scan things down, because if you have a class that is already a little bit longer, yeah, this is the way you scan things. You don't scan with that takes just too much time if you scan horizontally. That's why I prefer verticality in code. 0, a bit of style. Let's just use letters here for small numbers. And I guess this will work. Does my tests this costs? So I'm trying to run the test via PHP Storm, but it causes some problems with newer PHP unit versions for me. So I don't know if this is gonna work. Nah, test framework quit unexpectedly. Yeah, I'll just do it manually for now. So I have here a PF alias, which is aliased to PHP unit filter. Let's see. Oh, it's immediately green. This is nice. This is a nice feeling. Let's maybe get red. Yeah. So this isn't good. Ah, yeah. I've made no assertions on what was recorded, but only that something got recorded. So yeah, that's a bit silly. I should, I guess, make first maybe an assertion that something was recorded. And yeah, autocompletion gives me here that database count assertion, but mostly I don't like to reference like names of tables themselves, because you can overwrite like a table name in a model. And yeah, using the table name feels a little bit too low level for me. This assert count, just the normal count. I want to have one, how is it called? See, I'm very forgetful. Here's the model. The model name, yeah. Entry. No, I should have all models. So we have one entry. Yeah, that's nice. And maybe one thing, am I going to add that already here to an entry? Because that could be handy to test a last method to just get the last record. Is that actually in Laravel a last disk monitor entry last? No, that isn't there. I think it's going to be handy when writing tests, so I'm going to add it. Last, and that returns just the static. Order by descending order, ID perhaps, and they're the first, and that is the last one, and maybe there's one, maybe not, so we get to use this type hint. Okay. This is the command. I should have the tests. And here we can now do disk monitor entry last. Maybe not last, but disk, or just entry. I guess that's clear enough. And then we are going to assert equals that there is one file recorded. So entry file count, I guess. But now it's not 0 files, right? Yeah, let's just do that first. So 0 file count, like that. And hey, that's great. This is working. Let's try to make it fail by actually having a file on that disk. And yeah, one doesn't match expected 0, so I guess this is working. I wonder now if I should have like a small test or more of a story test where I just test things in one go. I think some kind of story test is better. It will record the file count for a disk. The file count for a disk. Like that. Is that good? Yeah, we'll start off with 0. And yeah, we have 1 recorded now. I wonder if this is useful to record like the amount of records. Maybe I'll do that in a separate test, because that will get messy soon, I guess. How I'm going to do this, maybe just put an optional here for safeguarding. Nah, just let's leave it like this. So now we have 0 files. Okay, if we add something here, storage put test txt test, something like that. Then I guess we should run this again. And I've made like a plea for horizontally, but maybe this is... I've made a plea for verticality, but maybe now this will be better to keep the blocks a bit together. So you can have like a block there, then we add something, then we have the command again, we can get the entry, and we can assert this one, something like that. And with blocks, I mean like these kind of blocks that you somehow see like this test is split into things. I guess this gets green. And yeah, that's good. So is there anything else we want to test here? Let me think a bit. This is already maybe a good point to push everything to master. I guess we got some styling fixes in. Because we have our automatic style fixer here. Oh. And then push to master like that. And everything is green, right? Or this test is green, I guess. Okay. I'm thinking what I should do next. Maybe I should also make sure that when there is another disk name, that disk name is being used. Or maybe I should already have like multiple disks. Maybe that's fun too to implement. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. The names of the disk you want to monitor, disk names, this will be an array. And by default, it will be local. And now in our command, we should do things for each disk name, right? Disk name, disk names. Let's think a little bit. Yeah, I think I just want to do everything for one disk in a separate method. So protected. I'm going to call this method record metrics, I guess. Yeah, record metrics, that's a good one. I'm going to accept the disk here, I guess. Yeah, that's maybe good. And I actually don't know what the class is here that is returned from disk. I think it's file system. Illuminate contracts file system. Let's see what auto completion says. Yeah, that seems right, I guess. And then can a disk actually give me a name? Seemingly not. Maybe via the driver. I don't know it that well. You know what? We'll just pass in the disk name here. That will be better, I guess. And what are we going to do? We are going to get this disk. File count. I'm going to split this up for readability. So we are going to count all files of the disk. And then we are going to create an entry like that. Maybe I do like a little info here. Recording with a capital, maybe. Recording metrics for disk, and then disk name. I like to put this in quotes like that. Backticks, I guess. This is an ongoing process, so ... This method won't return anything, I guess. So I like having void on there. Because I don't need to read anything else. I know that this method won't return anything just by reading the signature. That's why I like it. I like that there's some truth about it. I wrote a blog post about void. Maybe I'll just link it in the notes of this video so you can understand my reasoning, why I like it. So this we don't need anymore. And I think I can just collect this one. And then for each of these, we're going to use a short closure, fancy short closure. String disk name. And we are going to this record metrics for that disk name. And I guess that is already it. And now I don't need this starting line because we already have this one. And I think if we did everything correctly, the test should just pass because our default is still local. Let's put a comma here. And it is fantastic. Okay. But now I want to make sure that there are multiple disks being recorded correctly, right? Let's go to our test. For a single disk. Yeah, maybe for a single disk. Yeah, okay. Let's do another one. It will record time for multiple disks, I guess. Local. And let's fake another disk, like that. And what are we going to do now? So I can't use this last anymore because we're going to record two things the whole time. Yeah, let's make that assertion already, I guess, that we record multiple things. So I'm going to use multiple disks. So I'm going to set disk monitor. Oh, it's with this word. Disk monitor. Disk names. I'm going to set that to local and another disk, like that. Yeah, so if both are empty, I'm going to assert that, assert count, that there is, that there are two records recorded. Disk monitor entry get, I guess. I don't need this one anymore, like that. And that's good. I'm going to get all the entries again. You know what? I'm going to do that here already. So entries is disk monitor entry. This is entries. And then we are going to assert equals that the first entry is about local. Entries, I guess I'll just do this, 0. And here we have another disk, and that's entry 1, I guess. Yeah. Of course, we should also use the right attribute, disk name, like that. Yeah, cool. There's also one nicety that I can do, I guess, in the model itself. We can add like casts here, so we get the right. Or do we need to do that? I sometimes wonder about these little things, you know. So let's just see if this is like a string or an integer. It's a string. So I guess if we add like casts, and here file count is an integer, like that, and now it's an integer. Nice. And I don't write a test for things like this if this is like a string or an integer. That's sort of low level for me, or I think the reason is because such a test doesn't bring me any value. I know that this isn't going to change. If somebody is going to give me a pull request and make this to a string, I immediately am triggered like, why are you doing this? Yeah, for me, a test for this doesn't have any value. So, okay, let's just make sure that everything works correctly. That's nice. And what are we going to do? Maybe I'll just put a file on a disk, and I'm going to assert that only for that disk the file count has gone up. So Yeah, maybe this storage put. I didn't mention the disk name here. I guess it worked because local is the default, but I'm going to make it explicit. It should still pass, right? Okay, it still passed. And then here, let's think a bit. Yeah, maybe we'll put something on another disk. And I'll just do that from the get-go, I guess. I'll just put it on another disk. And then I can say here that on this disk, the file count is 0. And here the file count is 1. That isn't correct. So it's on line 48, so it's this one. So this should also be 1. So we have like that for another disk. Thank God for tests. And that all seems to work. And now we have multiple disk support, which is quite nice. Okay. Let's push that to master. What are we going to do next? Let me think. Maybe we should have like a page where we are going to display all of the statistics that we recorded. That might be nice. Okay, let's do that. That's a nice thing. You know, all of this is very basic, I know, but mostly, and this is also true when I create real packages. Mostly, I start out very basically, and it's only through just reiterating through it that it becomes bigger and more useful. I think in this case, I'm just thinking aloud now. We have now this command where we record all the metrics here. Probably if I want to polish this a little bit, I think it would be useful that there are other metrics recorded and that there is like a separate class name that is responsible for recording the file count. Things like that you can maybe have like your metrics classes or recording metrics classes here, so you can as a user create others as well. I think extensibility is also very important for a package, but if I would record that all, it'll take hours. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that. I don't know yet. Anyway, where was my train of thought? We were going to create a controller. Yeah, talking this much is also something I'm not accustomed to do. It's quite fun to do now that I do it for the first time. Controllers. No, what am I doing? I think I lost focus for a bit there. Controllers, and here, what are we going to do? Recorded disk metrics. Well, that's I wonder how I should name this. Recorded disk metrics. It seems like the right name, but it feels a little bit wrong. Recorded disk metrics. You know what? I recorded isn't that important. I think disk metrics is clear enough. And of course, it's a singular controller. Disk metrics controller. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. What am I going to do here? I'm thinking I'll just use invoke for now. I think if I were to flesh this out, I probably would have like a list of disks and then a detail page for a disk. But right now, just to keep everything a little bit short, I'm going to just dump all the statistics in an HTML table, I guess. So, yeah, I think disk monitor entry. I think I want to show the latest first. So we are going to sort them that way. Latest all, I guess, or get like that. Then we have here disk monitor entries. Like that. Yeah, and then we are going to return a view. And I think I've already changed the name here, I guess. Yeah, it's disk monitor. Disk monitor, and I'm going to name the view entries. And I'm going to give it the disk monitor entries. I'm going to make this a little bit shorter. I was bothered that it's so long. Entries, and then I can do compact entries here as well. Like that. A controller shouldn't or isn't required to extend anything, so I'm not going to do that. Now I'm going to add a blade file here. Entries blades. Okay. Let's move it away. That git keep, I deleted that because I actually have something here now. And what am I going to do here? Maybe I'll just do table. And then I guess the head and the body. Come on. Like that. Okay, thanks. And here we have a row, and I think it's like this. What are we going to put here? Maybe the disk name first. Maybe the file count, maybe recorded at. Recorded at, like that. The body for each entries as entry. Yeah, and for each, right? Yeah, okay, there we are. We are going to have a row with a couple of things in it. I made that mistake again. So it's DD, yeah. The disk name, so that's entry disk name, like that. Maybe file count. And this one will be created at, and let's do a sane format. Format is year, month, hour, minutes, seconds, like that. Maybe do here disk metrics. And I guess that's it for now. This is like a good basic view that I guess. Let's set up a macro for this too, so people can actually register the route. So I don't know if I can do this out the top of my head, but let's try. Routes, and we want a macro, and we want disk monitor to be the name of the macro so people can do route disk monitor. We are going to give it a closure. And this is the parameter that people will give the macro. So this is a string prefix, I guess. Then we must have a route, and we'll use that prefix for everything in the group. And the group also takes a callable. I think routing is the thing that that I loved about Laravel right away. I still remember, like, in the Laravel 4 days, I think Laravel 4 wasn't released yet when I started with Laravel, and I was coming from Zend framework where it was really horrible to register route, and for me it was like route get, that was like, oh yeah, this is it. I don't want to do Zend anymore. Just let me register this and get rid of the pain that Zend gave me. But Zend was useful at the time, but yeah, Laravel is better, or at least Laravel 4 was better than Zend Framework 1. I don't want to step on any toes here, but yeah, I like Laravel, that's no secret. Okay, I lost my train of thought again. So route, prefix, group. What are we going to do here? We are going to add a get route. We're using the prefix. Yeah, maybe this is good enough, like that. And then we have the HTTP, the controller name. Yeah, so disk metrics controller class. Like that. That's enough because we use an invocable here. And I guess that's it, right? Let me think. Yeah, I think we're ready to write maybe a test for this. So we are going to add something here as well. HTTP controllers. And here we have disk metrics controller test, like that. It extends our test case, like that. What am I going to do? Oh, maybe I'm also going to register that route macro here already. So route disk monitor, and I'm going to put it on disk monitor, actually, like that. Extends test case. Let me think what I should do. So I'm going to add a test that I'm going to prove that it can display the list of entries, like that. Yeah. So I think we should just get a disk monitor. And we are going to, I think, assert that that is okay. So that's an empty list. But let's see if the route is already working, and it isn't. Disk monitor test route not found. I forgot to import something. Import the route, and let me import this one as well so we can get rid of that slash that was there. Still not good. Attribute disk monitor doesn't exist. This is our first snag, I guess. So, what are we going to do about that? Is this being called? Let's see if we get to the macro. And we're not getting to the macro. That's probably why it doesn't exist. Yeah, probably because this is in the test that tests if our application is running in console, because these publishes things, they don't need to be registered when in a web request. I think it's a sort of micro optimization maybe, but yeah, it's something, yeah, that is in the skeleton. I think I saw Taylor at some point do this, and yeah, I've just copied that, I guess. I don't actually know if it's a micro optimization or not, or if there are other things, but mostly I have these publishes things in running in console. So let's move that route registration out of that if. So we have it. Still not good. Attribute disk monitor does not exist. Do we actually call it here? We're still not calling it. And that is to me kind of strange, because I'm guessing that this should be called. Our disk monitor service provider isn't being called. That is strange. Disk monitor service provider, here you have it. And then we're in the boot. Yeah. Do we get in register? Register. We get in register, so that's good. You know what? Probably this method is being called before boot of the service provider is being called. So registered is called here, but boot isn't. I think I should add it to setup, and this will get called later, I guess. So I can remove this like that. Still not good. But this is already another error message. So we got a little bit further, and we forgot to import the namespace in our tests for route. Or am I wrong? It can display. It is in disk monitor service provider 33. Maybe here I forgot to import the namespace. Import class. Yeah, that's it. Like that. I hope that thought process of me going through what is wrong is useful to you. Otherwise, you've just lost some time. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is good. Now, while I'm in the service provider, something that I do to clean this a little bit up, because I think it's already becoming a little bit messy here, is to split this up into several functions. Let's just do it. This is load views. So I'm going to put these in separate functions, so it gets easier to read what's in the boot method. So here I'm going to, register publishables, I guess. So it's just the publishables there. Except for this one, that should go into, I guess, its own method. So let's do that. So register commands, like that. But I'm not going to call it from this function. I'm going to call it from here. Like that. Register commands. This doesn't return void anymore, but I'm going to let it return self. I guess it's here. If I want to make it work the same, I should wrap this in that as well. But actually, because I don't like indentation, let's just make it negative. So if this isn't running in the console, just don't do anything. Return this. Why not this? Because this is still marked as void. Let's do self. Like that. We lose one level of indentation, which is very good, I guess. Missing a return statement. Yeah, of course. Thanks, PHP Storm. Like that. And here we'll maybe do the same, just negate it. Don't do anything if we don't want that. Here we lose a level of indentation. We already have this. Let's take care of styling a bit, like that. Register commands. Here we are going to do register routes, I guess. And we can like that, register routes. And this is self. Return this like that. Return this like that, funny. Sorry, getting a little bit tired, I guess, if I think that's funny. And then load views from register views or something. Register views like that. Just remove it. Yeah. Register views. Let's also make it self and return this like that. Okay, and I guess that this is what we were shooting for. So this is, yeah, way more tidier than we had. This just reads to me like a recipe. Take care of the publishables, the commands, the routes, and the views. Yeah, nice. And our test should still pass, and they do. So this is good. Let's push that to master. Probably some kind of style fix has come through. So let's pull it in. Let's maybe fix all the stuff here already too, like that. So what I just did with that composer formatting thing, that was just taking care of all the formatting errors that I've made. And we use, yeah, this tool for this that reads a certain configuration. And that configuration is here. But I think, yeah, this is already covered in a video, so I'm not going to expand on this. Let me think what we should do next, because yeah, I think this is already nice for features. We've touched config, we've touched views, commands, controllers. We have some tests, we did some tidying up. Maybe one thing that we can do is maybe add support for other PHP and Laravel versions, because I don't think that I've used anything Laravel 7 specific. I've used something PHP 7.4 specific. I think in the command I used like a short closure. And my rule is whenever I can use a feature from a higher version of the language, I'm going to use that higher version of the language as a requirement. No small the feature. I'm not going to think, oh, it's only a short closure, I'm just going to do PHP 7.4. No, I'm kind of aggressive about this. I just don't want to think about which features I should use. I just want to use any feature that I can. Let's test if we can actually have support for Laravel 6. So we need test bench 4, and actually I should still list like the components of Laravel that I use. So I think, yeah, console, and it's 6 and 7. What do we use? I think HTTP. That's also one, I guess. And it's, I think, technically not per se needed to add this, but yeah, still kind of, it's nice to know what components that you're using. I think database, that's eloquent, right? As well. And the all-powerful support like that. What's wrong here? Package is not installed. Let's just install that. Oh, composer update, of course. Like that. While it's installing, I'm going to the test. So I'm not going to install PHP, no, or not going to install Laravel 6 locally, but I'm going to take care of, but GitHub Actions will take care of that for me. So I'm going to do a YAML battle. Let's do it like this. Yeah, so this is now for Laravel 6 and test bench 4, like that. I think both operating systems are fine. I think all the rest is fine, really. Run the test again just to make sure. Yeah. Composer master. And let's head over to GitHub to see if our tests are actually running here. This is one with the old configuration, but it's nearly done. Create status batch. Yeah, maybe that's a nice batch. Yeah, maybe I'll already add that to the README. I have another batch, but I think it's nice to have like a first party batch for this. Like that. Let's head over here back again to see if the tests here are running. And yeah, we updated our configuration right because we're now also testing for Laravel 6. I'll come back to that in a minute. We'll also commit this. What am I going to do next? Test it maybe in a real Laravel application. Yeah, maybe that's nice too. This is also something that I do when creating a package. Even though the tests tell me that everything is right, I'm going to try it out in a real Laravel application as well. So let's do that now. I'm going to create a new Laravel application, Laravel disk monitor test app, like that. Let's craft our tests already done. There are some tests for Laravel 6 already done for Ubuntu. So I'm fairly confident that everything will run okay here, but let's head back later. Is our test application already scaffolded? Yeah, so I use this name, so let's copy it like that. PHP Storm, let's open it up. So I'm going to add the package here locally. So yeah, and this is something that I always screw a little bit up. So I hope it'll work. Yeah, maybe you hear my fans of my MacBook going again because PHP Storm needed to index something. So it's repositories here, and it's an array with objects. With objects like that, and I think that it is type path. It's a path repository, yeah. And then URL is this directory, but Laravel disk monitor, like that. And of course, I should also require the package. Hi, Nuno. I always find it nice when I see Nuno in here. Nuno is such a great guy. And yeah, I'm using that now that I see Nuno here. He's working at the moment of recording at getting like a test framework out of the door. It's called Pest. It seems very promising. It's like a lighter version of PHP Unit. It's still PHP Unit behind the screens, but it's a nicer API. So I hope he'll get some traction with that. But I digress. I wanted to add the package here. Laravel, and it's kind of funny that Composer picks up on all the Spatie packages. We've already made a lot here, I guess. Laravel disk monitor. PHP Storm doesn't know that one yet. Dev master. And what are we going to do? We are going to Composer update, and with any luck, our package should get added. Let's not wait for it, but let's go check GitHub. And yeah, all our tests ran fine, which is quite nice. Okay, meanwhile, Composer install has already done its work. It's indexing here, so sorry for fan noises if they would come through. And Laravel disk monitor has been installed in this package as well. Has been installed in this project as well. Nice. Okay, what are we going to do? I think there should be a command here now, disk monitor. Yeah, but it won't work because I should run the migrations. So in our README, we already have an installation instruction for that. Where it is? Did I skip over it? Ah, yeah, it's here. So this is already valuable for me. So I can, by using it in a real Laravel application, I can test if the installation instructions are correct here. And there's something wrong here. There's skeleton service provider here, so I can fix that here. Disk monitor service provider. Let's just try that again. That is better. Let's take a look at if it's if everything's fine. Create disk monitor tables, yeah. And here we have disk monitor entries. That seems good. So we are going to migrate. And there's something wrong here. I don't have, I don't have a database yet. I should have one. So I'm going to my environment here. I'm going to create a database, disk monitor tests app. Good. Let's take a look. What are we going to do? Yeah, we are going to create that database, and I have command for that too. Monitor test app, like that. We are going to migrate the database now. Okay, that has succeeded. That is pretty nice. Maybe let's record something. So I should have that disk monitor command here, disk monitor metrics, and I think the default file system is local, I guess. Default is local, so it should work. But yeah, let's just execute it to see if it works. Yeah, recording metrics for disk local. That is already very good. Let's open up a Tinker session. Or I'm not going to do this via Tinker. I'm going to maybe just open up my database. And here it's disk monitor test app, like that. Disk monitor entries. And we see 2 file count. That is already very good. I think file system is located. I think the file system disk root is in storage app path. Yeah. So storage app path. Yeah, there are two things here. So let's create another thing here. Maybe test.txt. Let's record something again. Take a look at the database. And sure enough, file count has increased. That is nice. I'm pretty glad that it's all working. Let's maybe test out if our other installation instructions are right. So this one isn't. So this is disk monitor config. Let's see if it works. Disk monitor. There we have it. Nice. Yeah, I'm feeling fairly confident that this is all working as intended, and that feels very, very nice. Commit and git push to master. I think in a real world scenario, I would probably start writing the README now, but I don't think the process of me seeing the README file is that useful. No, I'm not going to do that here. I'll publish this package so you can see what the result was. I'll write the README, but just read it on your own. This should be Laravel disk monitor. I'm going to fix that already. Yeah, and probably you might have guessed that I'm going to instruct package users to add this command to their kernel and to the console kernel and schedule that command, because it makes no sense to execute it manually. This is good for now. I'm going to publish it to master, or to push it to master. And I think that I'm already going to tag like a public release. But yeah, I think this is not really worthy of a 0.1, because I think if you would do it right, then you would refactor some of these things. I think 1.0 for me signifies like this is a real quality SPACY package, and currently it isn't. It needs some more polishment, I guess. So I'm going to do it as a experimental release. Normally I would fill in the date here. Experimental release, mental release, like that. Commit it. Let's push it to master, like that. Let's actually go to the repository here. I'm going to create the release here as well. Or you know what, I'm just going to create it on the command line. That's more fun. So git release create 0.0.1. Also 0.0.1 here. Put in the release note, like that. And we've created a release. And let me show you that this was actually working. We have a release here now with our release note. What am I going to do next? Maybe I'll make this repository already public so I can register it on Packagist. So I'm going to make it public. Like that. Type in my password. I'll use my fingerprint for that. Hop. Like that. And then I need this URL to publish it on Packagist. So I'm already logged in. Check if it is right. Laravel disk monitor, submit. Like that. And this can take a while. So Packagist is now scanning the repository for some more information. Sometimes it works, sometimes it takes a while, and now it's pretty fast. So we have our release here. And then, yeah, I should be able to require it in my test application. So I can just remove repositories here. Now, I think for a real package, I would use another Laravel application to do this, because I tend to keep my test applications where a package is locally installed in, so I can just toy with that. Yeah, maybe I should do that here too. Maybe I'm going to create another Laravel application to test if yeah, it all runs fine when I pull it in with Composer. I think nothing can really go wrong with it pulling from Composer, but it's just, yeah, something that I always test to make 100% sure that everything is right. So Laravel disk monitor test app Composer, and let's wait for it to do its job. Now we can go into that directory. It's a pretty long one, so I'm going to copy it like that. Now I can do Composer require spaCy Laravel disk monitor. And if Composer was fast enough, then we can pull it in. And yeah, there we have it, 001, like that. It's updating the dependencies a bit, and there it is being pulled in. And I'm not going to test it fully now, but I'm going to grab if there is like a disk monitor thing available here. And sure enough, it seems that our service provider is being loaded into the Laravel application app, and I'm going to assume that everything works. So yeah, that was a lot. I hoped that you liked this journey, and I also hope that you liked the videos that you've already seen. Yeah, if you have any question about package development, just hit me up on Twitter. I'm happy to answer questions that you have around this. Thanks for watching this video. If you're still listening to it here and you're at the end of the video, that really means the world to me. And I hope that you now have the knowledge to share your programming skills with other persons through the creation of packages. Okay, signing off. Bye, everybody.